Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we'll be talking about a dangerous severe weather setup that'll be happening across parts of the Central and Southern Plains later tonight. We're also going to be tracking the threat for heavy rainfall across parts of Texas for the remains of what is now Hurricane Palmia from the eastern Pacific. We also got quite a bit of snow that could fall across parts of Wyoming and Montana as well, could bring in several inches of snow up there as well. So we're gonna get started with the severe weather side of things. We still have that enhanced risk out there. If you remember yesterday's video, it was only for a 30% chance of wind. Well, we now have some new upgrades. The tornado risk has went up. We got actually have a hatched area across parts of northwestern Oklahoma, far northeastern panhandle of Texas, and parts of southwestern Kansas. And that's where we're going to see the potential for some strong tornadoes as well within that hatched region. Damage and winds will also be there, but we can even see some large hail out there as well. But the main focus right now will probably be in this region right in here is where I would focus on with the supercell threat and kind of everything else. Because what I'm about to show you guys is pretty concerning here for later tonight across these regions here. So we're just going to check out the herd model because herd model's done the best over the last couple of days. So we're going to check out the herd model very quickly here. So as of right now, there is absolutely no instability or anything out there right now. But a warm front will be passing through, and that's going to have all the dew points and the uh, the instability as well. So it will come through here till later in the day here, and it'll be moving north very quickly here. So at this point here, we're kind of getting to the evening hours. We got some showers and thunderstorms developing across parts of Nebraska and western Kansas. And some of these may try to become supercellular. As you can see, that one right there tries to become a little supercell. But look what happens as we get into the overnight hours. Check out southwestern Oklahoma. You got a cluster of thunderstorms that develop there, and those could turn into supercells. As you can see here, shows one massive supercell moving along across parts of southwestern Oklahoma. That's not good news at all. With such a storm that is very isolated, you also have a lot of wind shear, a decent amount of cape. I mean, all the ingredients are there. There is a little bit of a weak cap there, but I don't think it's really going to interrupt too much with the severe weather down there. So, but we'll check out some of those soundings in just a moment. Meanwhile, a little further up to the northwest, you got a big line of thunderstorms there. Some of those could produce damaged winds and possibly some isolated tornadoes. That supercell actually continues to move on to the northeast there as well. And then new storms form off to the northwest, and those could try to and become supercells as well. And then again, this is in the nighttime. This is 5Z, so you're talking about maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning here. You still got multiple supercells that's ongoing out there, producing all hazards as well. So definitely pretty concerning there. Um, let's kind of check out the dew points here. That's still very important here when it comes to severe weather with this type of setup here. So as of right now, your 60 dew points is still way down to parts of Texas here, but you're going to see this warm front continue on to move on to the northeast here, or to the north, I should say. You see how those dew points really start to move up to the north here, and doesn't quite make it up to Nebraska, but at least makes it up to parts of central Kansas, which is good enough right there. So really, the only areas I would be focused right now will be across parts of southern Kansas and western Oklahoma, even for parts of the northeastern panhandle of Texas as well. Uh, we also do see here, as you kind of get later in time here, look, these 70s dew points start to show up, which will be pretty favorable for some severe weather as well. If we kind of check out the storm relative helicity, which is a pretty important ingredient when it comes to tornadoes. Really, all you need is really above 150, and that'll be favorable for some severe weather. Check out when you get to the overnight hours. I mean, check that out. There is a lot out there, and we mean a lot. story to Felicity out there. The numbers are pretty high. You're talking about numbers between 400 and possibly as high as 550, which is very high out there. We'll check out the Supercell Composite real quick, and you'll start to see here the environment is very favorable for some supercells, especially you get to the overnight hours, which you can see at this point here. You can see the Supercell Composite numbers are pretty high. We'll get a sounding in southwestern Oklahoma because that's kind of one of my areas of big concern. And you do see here, we got a very large photograph here. Things uptrended a little bit since the last video, so this is not a good news here. You also do notice, like I said here, there's a little bit of a weak cap in the low level, so that's going to kind of limit some thunderstorm development, but with so many stronger lap rates here, especially in the mid levels, I think we're going to be able to blow through that weak cap there, but we'll still keep an eye on that there as well. Story to Felicity numbers are way up there. Downdraft Cape is also pretty favorable for some damaging winds, plenty of instability as well. So, really, you got all the ingredients there for all hazards, really, even for the chance for some strong tornadoes as well. We'll move up to southwestern Kansas, and you also know it's pretty much a similar thing here. You got a weak cap, lots of wind shear, very large photograph, pretty strong lap rates though. That'd be pretty favorable for some large hail. Some of that could be very large. Decent amount of cape. Downdraft cape is favorable for some damaging winds as well. So this is a very concerning environment here. And then again, this is going to be happening into the overnight hours. So anybody that lives across parts of southwestern Kansas, western Oklahoma, even for the northeastern part of the Texas Panhandle, be sure to have a warning overnight because more than likely a lot of you guys will be sleeping around this time. At the same time, while you guys are sleeping, there's going to be some severe weather out there around the same time. So be sure to have a way to get a warning here because this is going to be very concerning here. So you kind of move on to the overnight hours here. And you can see here, as we kind of get to the early morning hours, the environment is still favorable for supercells. As we do get a sounding here across parts of northern Oklahoma, still favorable environment here for all hazards as well. So this is going to be continuing on throughout most of the night here. So definitely pretty concerning here for parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, for the overnight hours as well. So that's pretty much today out of the way, or actually I should say tonight. The system will start to move off to the northeast there, having a marginal risk for severe weather across parts of the Midwest up there as well. We also got a marginal risk down across parts of Texas as well. That's going to be associated with the remains of Palmia, which will be making landfall, I believe, later tonight in Mexico. I believe that's the timing when it makes landfall. The remains will go up along the cold front, and that could bring in a lot of rain for across parts of Texas. You'll see here when we check out the European model here. So this is what's going on right now. Let's actually kind of move on to 9 o'clock. And you can see here thunderstorms start to develop out there. Possibly some supercells down there across parts of Oklahoma as well. And it's already dark at this point. Then you start to see Hurricane Palmia, which when we check the eastern, when we check out the National Hurricane Center real quick here. Here's Hurricane Palmia with winds of 80 miles per hour with a central pressure of 985 millibars. It's still going to be gaining strength here. And you do see here with the track here at Palmia, it is going to get into parts of southern Texas here by Thursday. So that's really when the timing of the remains of Palmia gets there at that point there. And it's going to have a lot of moisture with it. So here's your trailing front right here from this low right here. At the same time here, you got quite a bit of snow across parts of Wyoming and Colorado. Eventually that's going to get up to parts of South Dakota and Montana as well. So you move on to 12 o'clock here, could be seeing near blizzard conditions nearby Rapid City here. If you check out sustained winds here, that's 850 millibars. If you check out sustained winds here, that's near blizzard conditions across those regions as well. If you check out for wind gusts, pretty strong out there as well. Maybe a little bit overkill with the wind gusts, since that's very typical for the European model to do. But either way, it's going to be some pretty rough conditions up there as well, and especially if I have snowfall there. You can see here with the snowfall forecast here for the European model, talking about over 2 feet of snow in some places. Here's the GFS model here, very similar scenario here. Some places could see over 2 feet of snow. Then when you check out the high-rise NAM, very similar scenario. Some places could see over 2 feet of snow. So a lot of snow will be coming for parts of Wyoming, western South Dakota, eastern Montana, and western North Dakota as well. So a lot of snow will be coming for the folks as well. So anybody that lives across parts of eastern Montana, northeastern Wyoming, western South Dakota, and western North Dakota, just be prepared for quite a bit of snow to fall, and it could be near blizzard conditions as well. So it could be pretty rough out there as well. So just to keep in mind of that. So then as that system moves off to the northeast, you still got this trailing front here, and here's the remains of Palmia right here. It's going to latch onto that front, and it's going to move up along that front here. You'll kind of see here with the timeline here. So then you move on to 8 o'clock Wednesday, you start to see its remains already getting up to parts of Texas here. So it'll be moving pretty quickly to the northeast here, bringing multiple rounds of heavy showers and thunderstorms. And then as you move on to Friday, this is where things get interesting. The remains of Palmia starts to deepen a little bit when it gets to Indiana, and that could bring another risk of some stronger storms across parts of the Tennessee Valley, Lower Ohio Valley, and parts of the Mississippi River Valley as well. Currently, Cape is forecast to be a little bit on the lower end side of things, so there's a limiting factor there, but there is some wind shear to work with, so there could be some strong storms out there as well, despite having some of that weak instability. So, but we'll keep an eye on Friday very closely there. And that could also lead to some flash flooding across parts of those areas as well. If you check out rainfall for the next 5 days here for the European model, you do see here there is going to be a swath of 1 to 4 inches of rain across parts of Texas, even up to parts of Oklahoma as well, up into parts of Missouri, and in parts of the Ohio Valley as well. But you're going to see some of these swaths here where we're going to have isolated 4+ amounts of rain. And those are the areas that need to watch for that potential flooding threat as well. If you check out the GFS model here, it's a little bit further off to the northwest, but you do see a widespread 2 to 4 inches of rain with isolated 4+ in some other areas as well. Then as you check out the high-res NAM here, you do see here with a swath of looks to be 1 to 3 inches of rain with isolated 3+ amounts some areas. So not everybody will be experiencing flooding, but there will be some areas where they'll get possibly several inches of rain, and that could lead to some flooding issues as well. So that's something we're going to need to keep an eye on as well. And here's the icon model. You kind of know the deal here. It's not going to be completely widespread or anything like that. So a lot of rain could be coming for across parts of Texas and maybe into parts of Oklahoma as well. You can see here it has some of those 1 to 2 rainfall amounts do continue up to parts of the Ohio Valley as well in Midwest. And here's the weather predictor forecast here. So this is the next 5 days for rainfall. You do see here where again you got a swath of 2 to 4 inches of rain with some isolated spots of 4+. So that's kind of the deal we're going to be seeing here. But most of the rainfall will come in tomorrow. But here's today. You got a marginal risk across parts of central and northeastern Texas, and then you got the slight risk across parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. But then again, most of the rain will be coming in tomorrow, and we have a moderate risk for some flash flooding, which does include the Dallas and Fort Worth area, and I believe that's San Antonio down there as well. So areas in the moderate risk definitely need to pay attention to that flash flooding threat as well. That's where we can see a decent amount of rain in a short period of time, and that can lead to some flooding issues across those regions as well. So A lot of stuff will be going on over the next several days for the United States here. But anyways, guys, this is our review guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, hit the comment section down below. Alright, you guys questions. And I see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.